The award-winning Beyond Vaudeville program with your host Frank Hope and your co-host David Green, anchorman Marvin Scott, the Nightbird Alison Steele, man about town Chy Howell, bagpipe guy Dan Armstrong, Funnyman Dave West, Renaissance man William Browne, Joey the Monkey.
Okay, thank you, David, and welcome once again to the Beyond Vaudeville program. Wow, can you believe all those special guests today? And a very special media show, we'll have to call it today. Now, we just want to show you a couple of things, but first I want to introduce some extra guests we have today. We have Funnyman, Mr. Dave West is with us. How are you, Dave?
I'm doing fine.
Doing fine. And William Browne, a Renaissance man and expert on Benny Hill, right?
Good evening and greetings.
Okay, and now I just want to quickly show you some new things. The Skipper doll from, of course, the Gilligan's Island show. And there's also a Gilligan, but I didn't have enough money for it when I got it, so I just got this one for now. And also the Trolls, which are very popular now. This one talks when you press his stomach.
Hug me.
He says, hug me.
Hug me.
See that? You want to play with that, David? Okay, maybe not. And all right, why not?
Stress.
Okay. Now we want to get right to our first guest because we do have a lot today, and
we're consider Valiant.
Okay, we're very happy to have our first guest on today. Anyone in the New York market knows this person very well from all his work on the news and the market, and we want to welcome, please, the one and only Mr. Marvin Scott. How you doing, Mr. Scott?
How are you?
Okay. You look all tanned and rested, Mr. Scott.
Well, I've gotten some of the vacation time, and it is good to be able to relax, good to be here with you today. And if I could figure out how to get this microphone on.
Oh,
better.
Okay. We don't have any people here to do that
It's okay,
for
I'll
us.
hold it.
Okay. And
There we go.
now, I mentioned summer vacations. You actually, I read in a book that you used to work at the Raleigh, which I went to. I've been up there too. And you're very fond of those days, right?
Well, those are the days, the age of innocence, I guess you can call it, when we all went through school and worked our way through school, and I worked at the Raleigh Hotel as a bellhop.
Right.
And as did many people, it helped to support going to New York University.
And this was long before the news days.
Well, yes, but even as a teenager in New York, I was indirectly involved with the news because I used to chase fire engines and celebrities with a camera and sell them to the local newspapers.
Oh.
So that was during the high school year, and during the summertime I would go up to the Raleigh and schlep the bags.
Now, is that something that you could still do today? I mean, could I go out with a camera and shoot people and sell the pictures, you think, or?
Well, I think the market has diminished as far as still pictures, but today they're using a lot of freelance video. All of the news stations and the cable news operations, cable news network, will use freelance video.
Okay.
A lot of the video you see of breaking news stories comes from freelancers who have their regular video cameras, the 8 millimeter or VHS, and the news stations and news departments will purchase that tape from you.
Okay. Wow. Well,
if you happen to be Johnny on the spot, and
that's a good tip.
In my day, I sold them the news. They were, I think, going back, there was the Daily Mirror, there's the Daily News, there was the Post, there was the World Telegram, and I'm not talking about centuries ago,
right.
But this was just about 20, 25 years ago.
Wow.
And they were all vying for the best photograph they can get. I mean, the Daily News was then called New York's picture newspaper.
Right.
And they wanted that picture that showed the action. Times have changed. Today, people want to see the video.
Well, you got to chase something to make money. I mean, you people do it with celebrities and photographs. Lawyers do it with ambulances.
It's one way of looking at it.
Mr. West always has a one-liner ready to go. Now, Mr. Scott, I don't want to name any favorites of my news shows because we did have Sue Simmons on, and she was very nice. But I must say I do enjoy your program, and it's convenient at 10 o'clock to watch the WPIX news. Because it's before the other shows, and
yes.
If you will go to sleep early, it's good to watch your.
With my co-anchor, Heidi Tong.
Heidi Tong.
Who joined us about 6 months ago and is a sheer delight to work with, a consummate professional and wonderful human being.
And you both have a very good sense of humor. I was watching last night, and you were both chuckling a little bit at the end.
Well, you know, when you have that opening, that moment where you can lighten up with all the heavy news, it's welcome relief for us as well as for the viewers. You know, you have those moments because the news, for the most part, is naturally is quite serious.
Right.
But there are moments when we can react in a human way, and we can laugh just like you or anyone out in the audience.
Okay, well, now...
Who's this guy behind us?
Oh, this is one of the friends of the show. He's okay. He won't bother you.
Do the news?
No. And now...
Get worried.
You know,
huh?
Marvin, you mentioned vacation. You know, I got a yacht, but, you know, I would have invited you along, you know, because once I got to my favorite fishing spot, you know, you being an anchor, I could have just thrown you overboard.
Oh.
Okay. Now, Mr. Scott, we do have another guest we want to bring on, and there's actually a little bit of a connection here.
Yes.
Because the two of you recently did a telethon together, right?
Yes, we did the leukemia televent together in August, and Allison and I have worked previously on the United Cerebral Palsy telethon. So.
Well, and you gave it away, Allison. Please welcome the one and only Nightbird, Miss Allison Steel.
Changing of the mics.
Yeah, that exit stage right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
My dear.
Now you know how the people on Johnny Carson's show felt
No,
when they edge him along in the chair.
now, Miss Steele, you have somewhere to clip that on?
I'll find a spot.
Okay. Oh,
Yes, indeed.
right on your pin, which has a cat on it.
Yes, it does. It's not very. It's upside down, but okay. We'll have to live with that, won't we?
Okay. Yeah.
The cat's not upside down. The microphone is, but c'est la vie. That's the way the croissant crumbles.
Okay. Now, it's funny that you like cats, but they call you the night bird, right?
Yes, you can think of me as the owl and the pussycat.
Oh, okay.
You see.
Okay.
I am the owl. You know, people are either larks or owls.
Okay.
I'm an owl. I always have been. But since my association with pussycats, that's the way I see myself. Are you aware of that poem? The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful sea green boat. Have you never heard it?
It was a movie, right?
No.
No, it was a rhyme.
It's a poem. It's a very pretty poem, a classic poem.
Okay. So, what do you think? We're all owls
I don't
or
know.
pussy-
Do you fall out of bed in the morning and sing and all of that?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Then you're a lark.
Oh. Okay. Well, there you go. You learn all sorts of things on this
People
show.
who like the morning are larks, and people who like the night are owls.
Okay. And now most of your fans must be
Owls.
owls.
Yes.
Because you are on overnight.
That's
in the,
right. I've always been on at night.
And how did you get the name the Nightbird? Was it?
Well, when I first came to my first overnight job, I asked them what they wanted me to do, and they said, do your thing. And I thought about what my thing was, and that's what I decided, that I am the night bird. And at that time, in 1966, girls were called birds, as boys were called teddies. That was the British invasion. So
Okay.
the nocturnal bird, the owl, and the bird, the term of the moment, hence the night bird was born.
Oh,
January 1st, 1968.
wow. And we have a lot of teddies and one bird on the show. All this new terminology we're learning today. And but you were on many stations in the market. You were on WNEW, AM and FM, right?
Well, I was on NEW-FM, then I moved to AM, and now I'm at 92.3 K-Rock.
Okay.
Other stations you may have heard me on are syndicated. I did many syndicated shows in the course of the past 25 years.
And on WPIX too for a little while,
Yes,
right?
for about 20 minutes, right.
20 minutes?
About 20 minutes, right.
Mr. Browne is one of my researchers, and you knew about Ms. Steele's experience in the
You're
market.
very observant.
That's right. I have read the advertisements featuring your name on it. I haven't heard your show that much, but when I've heard, I was impressed.
I'm delighted. I'm pleased.
Well, you
I'm
should.
impressed that you're impressed.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, I'm impressed. Everyone's impressed. Mr. Browne, you should listen to the show because you get more poems like the owl and the pussycat
But
that
he
we
might
heard.
be a lark.
Oh, this gets very
I heard
complicated.
that You own like a cat?
I
cat
do.
store?
I own a shop called Just Cats on East 60th Street, and we're the original and only totally feline boutique in New York.
He worked at the Catskills. Maybe he could train the cats for you.
Boy, you are dependable, I'll have to say that.
Actually, I used to, when I was younger, I used to stay up to watch test patterns at night.
Okay.
Yeah, well, they worked great on this guy. Shock therapy.
Okay. Well, things are rolling along so well. Maybe we should bring out our next guest too, so we can really bring him into the conversation too, because he's a real fun guy and a man. I mean, and we want to welcome
a person.
A person, and we'll see if he's a lark.
He's a
or
noun.
an
Person,
owl.
place, a thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's please welcome New York legend, Mr. Chauncey Howell.
And don't leave
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now,
Legend.
well,
Flattering.
I think so,
I
Mr.
love
Howell.
puppets. You know, if we were as good as puppets, we'd be stars.
Okay.
Right?
No,
Don't you agree? The best people on TV are the most puppet-like people.
okay.
Like Marvin. Marvin and I look like puppets, don't we?
Someone's
And,
moving me from behind here, Chauncey. I don't know.
And David too. I tell him
David's
he looks like a
definitely a
puppet
puppet.
sometimes, the way he doesn't make any gestures or move or smile or anything. Now, Mr. Howell, I remember I grew up watching you on Live at 5. On,
Live at 5.
WNBC.
Then it was dead at 6.
No.
What it was!
And then you went over to WABC,
WABC Channel 7,
right?
the
And
People Station.
now, is that hard when you go from one station to another?
No, not really. No, it's
No.
all pretty much the same.
All the same people. Everyone's nice at
The
all.
principles
the
of storytelling are the same regardless of station or media, don't you think?
Oh, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah,
What am
and-
I saying?
And
Just twaddle.
now, Mr. Scott, you were at another station. You were at Channel 5, right?
Channel 5 for about 8 years.
I remember that too. Mid-70s about, right?
Yeah?
Yes.
I figured. Whatever happened to people like George Sharon and Bill Jorgensen? I remember they went from 5 to 11 too. Channel 11 seems to be the home for Channel 5 veterans.
Oh.
Well, I got a
Oh,
cousin who's
interesting.
5 to 10 at the state pen.
Oh, that was good.
Not going to compete with these guys.
No, they're
Much
very,
cuter than we are, too.
They're very quick, Mr. Scott. Now, Chauncey. Now, Mr. Howell.
Chauncey, I love the way you said that. So New York. 'Cause where I grew up in Pennsylvania, they said Chauncey. That was a Pennsylvania Dutch accent.
Oh,
And
I
then
should say
in,
that.
it's really Chauncey.
Okay.
In
And
Brooklyn, it's Chauncey. Is that how you said it? Chauncey
right?
Street. Remember where Jackie Gleason was born on Chauncey Street?
Stinky, which I went
Chauncey.
to.
Thrilled by
I
that.
went to a school.
Did you really?
Yeah. What happened was, you know how you have assembly?
Yeah.
And everybody wears a white shirt and black tie? Well, what happened was, basically, I played Santa Claus in the school play, and it came time for Santa to come down a prefabricated chimney. And they had spotlights instead of, they had floodlights instead of spotlights. So you know how deers get stunned in the middle of the road? Well, Santa got stunned, and the prefabricated chimney came down, and I hit him with the old Gleason line. They don't build them like they used to. And my first grade teacher turned 50 Shades redder than my Santa Claus suit.
Wow. Now,
And we added the whole play after that.
That was great, too.
just another thing before we
I
move
love
on.
school plays, don't you?
Yes, very much.
I did a Wizard of Oz out in Brooklyn once, and the principal said, "Mr. Howell, now that you've shot all the Munchkins, do you have any recommendations for us? What should we tell them to do?" I said, "Well, you may tell the 4th and 5th grade Munchkins to go back to their classes." And he said, "Well, why?" And I said, "They're really not very cute, are they?" He said, "I know what you mean. Something happens in the 4th grade. They stop being cute, even for Munchkins."
Well, when you think about school plays,
The 1st and 2nd and 3rd grade Munchkins were wonderful.
one thing about school
Okay.
plays, everybody knows what's going to happen.
That's right.
So
The Dorothy in this production towered over the Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion, and she had a stuffed Toto, and she was very sad and unhappy. And I said to the principal, "Why is this girl playing Dorothy?" And he said, "Well, her mother is the president of the Parent Teachers Association." And anyway, why did I bring this
It's
up?
all connections, I
Yeah,
guess,
it's all
right?
connections.
They say, Mr. Howell.
But I love school plays.
And
This is
now-
like a school play.
Oh, thank you, I guess. Now, Mr. Howell, we want to have everyone out before we keep moving on here, and we have a special musical act today, and I'm sure you've covered these in this type of act in your
I've
travels,
covered every kind of act, yes.
Okay, and we'd like to welcome Mr. Dan Armstrong, the bagpipe player.
The bagpipes. I mean, you being Scottish.
Got it. Oh, sure. I'm
Can you
Scottish.
play a little tune so I can reminisce
Can you play,
about the melancholy days, sitting on the Highland, just a low tune. Don't you remember, Chauncey?
I remember you at the Battle of Culloden. You're the one that ripped
We
off your target.
ran down to the shores of Loch Mine, waiting to feed the Loch Ness monster. Any poor brigand that came along. Oh. Don't you remember, Chauncey?
Oh, sure and I do.
Wait a second.
Sure and I do. And we had a wee moose in the hair.
Wait a second, Chauncey. Whoa, cut the pipe for a second. You mean you're not Hold the pipes, man! Wait a bloody second here. What do you mean, you're not full Scottish?
Not Scottish. No, I have a Scottish name like his, Mr. Armstrong. My name
You mean
is...
I went through all the expense?
No, I'm Welsh.
You're Welsh.
That's Howell. It's pronounced Howell. It's pronounced
just ruined-
Howell
You know,
in Welsh.
Okay. Well, that was
So-
really something. I'm sorry, Mr. Armstrong, for the
Laban knife
interruption
and
there.
cup.
Now, Mr. Armstrong, you actually teach Scottish heritage and piping and that type of thing. And
New York Caledonian Club. I'm the piping instructor.
And-
we have courses in all kinds of Scottish culture and folk singing and Scottish dancing and island dancing and Scottish fiddle playing and Gaelic.
And-
about the sparring.
the
don't ask
sparring.
about
The
that.
sparring.
That's an old joke.
No, we won't tell you the joke. She'll tell you. See the purse that they carry with
Oh,
the tails on it.
okay.
It's called a sparring.
That's a very nice
He's
uniform.
very
So
knowledgeable.
what do you have in a sparring?
Excuse
What
me?
are you keeping it? Your car keys?
Well, in this case,
a couple of Kleenex?
I have to put everything.
Mad
in
money.
Scottish. We got cigarettes and we got keys.
Okay, well that's a very special uniform. I hope we captured all that
Beautiful.
on the camera. And I just want to, you can reach the
Marvin, you should wear a jabot,
Caledonian
too.
Club.
Oh, jabot. That would
And,
be very stylish.
Great. I'll expect to see you wearing one
662-1083,
tonight at 10 o'clock.
And
the show.
if you want to learn how to do that. Now, are there any other Scottish people on the panel today? Or
No, I'm mostly Pennsylvania Dutch myself.
okay.
Oh, really?
Now, Mr. Browne, you brought some of your records you wanted to show.
Yeah,
us
this
today, right?
actually is a new one. I just started it this morning.
Now
Right
you-
here. This is a 1991 reissue of the Dr. Hook 1972 hit, the cover of Rolling Stone.
Okay, maybe we.
You know, Dave, you really got to go for that electroshock therapy. You know, you calm down.
Okay.
Now, I want to make a correction before we go on. On the last show I did, I had incorrectly identified one camera manufactured by Sharp as the XCAL. It is actually the XCA1. The problem was the way it was designed. It certainly looked like an L, and I wish to apologize for Sharp for having gotten the name of one of their cameras wrong.
Okay, well, thank you for clarifying that, Mr.
You're
Browne.
quite welcome, I'm sure.
Now, and we still have one more person we want to bring out before we talk a little more, and this is one of our resident friends, and he's our favorite dancing, lovable monkey, Joey the Monkey.
This is my favorite part.
Hi, Joey.
Joey, you're great.
Hey, Joe, where did you steal those shoes from? Ronald McDonald?
Okay, Joey's music here. Joey, I don't know if we have music for you today.
Can we hum something?
We could hum, or maybe bagpipes. I don't.
Whistle a happy tune?
Okay, we'll have bagpipes for Joey.
Yeah, great.
Back with the earplugs.
And
Yeah.
Joey will do a traditional Scottish
The Campbells
dance.
are coming. Wow, that was
Thank you.
superb. That was a reel. They're still reeling from that reel.
Joey doesn't usually have such a nice dancing partner like that. Now, Miss Steele, we're doing a lot of Scottish music, but you specialize in the rock and roll
Classic
music,
rock.
right? Classic rock.
Yes.
And all the songs from the '60s are popular all over again now, right?
Yes, they are.
And
It's-
why
we're
is
in
that?
a retro age.
Right.
Doesn't seem to be. Thanks, Marvin. There doesn't seem to be a new idea in America. All the old movies are being remade, all the old television shows are becoming more popular, and all the old music is surfacing. No one seems to be able to come up with anything original.
Puppets.
Is that what it is, Chauncey?
Puppets of the future.
And but it maybe because that music was just so good, right? That
Well,
people
that's
like,
one reason, yes. Nothing that we have today, I'm sure I'll offend some people, but nothing that we have today can surpass the Beatles, the Rolling Stones. I mean, we still have Eric Clapton, but that was a seminal time in the history of music in the world, and
Right.
I don't think it will ever be equaled or repeated.
And now, Mr. Browne, you have you collect records, right? So you know.
Yeah, that's right. I happen to have some classic rock albums here. As a matter of fact, let me just type this on.
Well, very quickly.
All right,
Mr. Browne,
here's one famous album here. This is a rare copy of the side one of the Led Zeppelin 4th album,
That's the Runes album.
which featured Stairway to Heaven on the end.
Okay.
This is actually from the Columbia Record Club, as you can see on the left, to the left of the Atlantic logo.
That's
Okay.
a treasure.
Tell me about it. That's why I got it.
Oh, Mr. Howell, you must collect records. You
Not
know
those
this.
guys. No, I have old cylinders.
Oh.
Yeah, I have Tito Schipa, John McCormick, and
I have a couple of 78s myself.
you know, Il Mio Tesoro, 1916. That's the greatest vocal recording ever made, John McCormick.
You have that? Are you
No, I'm not joking at all.
Really?
That's the greatest bit of singing ever put on
No
record.
question. And how do you play it on the cylinder?
I'm teasing. I don't have it on a cylinder, but I have it on
Gotcha.
discs and
Do you have it
praise
on
forums. I mean, you talk about breath control, seamless scale, the whole works.
Sinatra,
The voice
Sinatra-
appears to float.
Sinatra always said that he had breath control by breathing out the side of your mouth while singing.
They have all kinds of tricks. It's the legato school of singing.
But Frank never sang Il Mio Tesoro.
Oh, it's true.
Should we sing it? for him. Il mio tesoro intanto cerca.
Wow, that was very nice. Wow, that was really special. Now, Mr. Scott, do you like music at all? Any special type of music, or
I like the New Age music.
New Age? Okay, like the CD.
Yes, microphone.
Like the CD
helps.
101.
I like Enya particularly.
Oh,
Very soothing, very relaxing.
okay. I'm not familiar with Enya. Is that?
One of her ads is featured in a soft drink commercial.
Oh,
Enya.
I think, yes, they do use some of her music in commercials.
okay.
Yeah, I've heard one of her songs, so I should know.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll have to.
I use a lot of background music in my stories, and I try to pick offbeat, odd things. And people will stop me on the street afterwards and say, "What was that weird piece of music playing in the background?" I say, "Well, that was a trumpet version of a tenor aria from an obscure Bizet opera. I just happen to have, because you don't want them to recognize the piece and say, 'Hey, I know that piece. That's William Tell Overture or La Gazza Ladra.'" How many pieces have La Gazza Ladra behind them? You know La Gazza Ladra? Ba-rum, bum, ba-bum, bum, 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 ba-rum, bum, ba-bum. It's a Rossini overture.
Okay. Overture.
I mean, it's overplayed, isn't it?
Problem sometimes when you use those music background,
Chauncey, you're the man to ask. What is the music they play on the British Airways commercial?
Well, they played a number of pieces. They played Va Pensiero a few years ago.
The
That's from
current one.
Nabucco. I haven't heard the current one. Is it? It's not the one with the two women's voices.
Yes.
Is it? Well, that's a duet from Lakme from the first act by Delibes.
It's just gorgeous. Thank
Yeah.
you. I've
It's
been
a very,
trying to come up with that for
It's
months.
not a well-known piece, but it's very
Lakme.
very effective.
Lily
charming,
Collins
isn't it?
used to sing Lakme.
Yes, she did. She sang the bell song.
Lily
Remember
Collins,
the
I
bell song on
remember
the
that
telephone
name.
hour.
Yes, of course. I have a recording.
Well, this is like a PBS program.
Yeah, we're
today.
trying to raise the tone around here a little bit.
Very,
Plus some cash.
very interesting, and maybe there's all new music that Joey can dance to next time.
Joey would be great to a Granados piano piece, let's say, or I don't know, a little Telemann maybe.
Okay, a little
I think
Telemann.
Schoenberg would be much better.
Sure.
Which one, Sidney Schoenberg?
For his dancing, yes.
Yeah, he could be very good. Erwartung, you know that one?
Oh, that's...
Yeah,
Ooh,
how about
he'd be
Who
great.
Were
Especially when
Tapatero?
the soprano stumbles over the body of her beloved and shrieks for 15 minutes.
Okay, you know,
Tonally,
Yes, yes,
that would be good.
yes.
Personally, I'd like to see him do the Mexican hat dance in those shoes.
That would be good.
okay, well, no, now,
I think he's very talented, by the way. He's the best thing on the show, so don't you?
wow, you hear that, Joey?
He's by far the best
My
thing on the show.
compliments to the monkey.
Wow. Now, David, you should be appreciating this. We had you always say we're not serious enough on the program, and Miss Steele and Mr. Howell were having a very nice talk about very cultural things, and you should be happy. And you're still sitting there like Mr. Stonyface.
He wants the Hegelian imperative, that's what he wants. We should. Instead of Schoenberg, we'll talk about Schopenhauer.
No, I should have brought the charcoal with me this time.
Charcoal, what? Is my breath that bad?
No. It's, I wanted to do his picture, but I'll save it for the
Oh, I
next one.
thought you wanted a light.
Well, maybe
You know,
next time.
charcoal, you'll see
You know,
that
that might
charcoal
actually get him
towels
to
they
do
give to
something.
dogs for bad breath.
Oh, okay.
It works, they
well,
work.
Absolutely.
Well, we have to wrap up, actually. Wow, what a fast-moving show. I want to thank our guests, Mr. Howell, and
Thank you, my pleasure,
thank
Frank.
you, and Mr. West, and Mr. Scott, and Mr. Browne, and Miss Steele, and the co-host is there, and also our one and only bagpipe player, Mr. Armstrong. And thank you all very much for joining us, and keep watching Beyond Vaudeville.